What is up, summoners? Welcome to the channel. Today I have been doing a lot of testing, putting a lot of time in with my 5-star blade ever since I pulled him 2 weeks ago. And as part of that testing, I'm trying to determine what is the highest damage output rotation for blade. And blade is very unique in that you kind of got the option because of the massive amount of power that you gain when enemies are bleeding. There's really 2 different rotations that you can do with him. The first one that you're seeing here against Labyrinth of Legends, the Red Hulk, is what I'm going to call the S1 spam technique. Basically, once you have a couple of bleeds up on the enemy from the S1, every single time that you go in to attack them with a 5-hit combo, the 5 hits plus the proximity power gain from the bleeds, every single time you finish a 5-hit combo, you're going to have another S1 available. And you can continue to spam that over and over and over, and you'll almost always have either 2 or 4 bleeds up on the enemy because of that. Once you do like 3 or 4 of those S1s in a row after every 5-hit combo, you actually will gain enough power through the proximity bleeds that you will actually trigger an S2. And that's kind of the rotation. You spam the S1 until you have what I'm going to call the free S2. You fire off the free S2, then you go back into just spamming your S1 until you get back to that S2. You just keep doing that over and over and over again. And that, I was trying to figure out, is that going to do more damage than the way that I think a lot of people are playing him, which is just to hold on to your power until you get to the S2 and only fire off the S2? Because it can be somewhat, not confusing, but when you see the S2, it has a very high crit rate, it's a lot of damage, a strong bleed. You get a big chunk of power back, so I think a lot of people assume that that's the best way to play him. But I wanted to figure out for myself which way was the best. And the answer is, it depends. It depends mostly upon what gameplay you're in, how long the fight is. What I mean by that is the Labyrinth of Legends, the Red Hulk fight that you see here, this is only a rank 3 5-star character, so I don't have the extended enrage timer. Basically, every single time that I ran this test, either spamming the S1 or spamming the S2, the results were all about the same. The S1 always came out ahead, doing more damage. The overall fight's about 2 minutes and 20 seconds, 2 minutes and 15 seconds, somewhere right around there. And for that time period, I was doing between about 20 and about 25,000 damage is typically what the S1 was doing over the S2 spam. Which, honestly, that's not a huge difference. You know, 20,000 damage is basically nothing more than like a 5-hit combo and another S2. You know, so there's really nothing significant that I found there. So if you're talking about shorter fights, you know, fights that are 2 minutes and under, so you're talking AQ, you're talking AW, it really doesn't make any difference what rotation you implement. You know, play what's more comfortable with you, play with what makes sense for the fight itself. There's really no gain one way or the other. However, if you take those numbers, that time period, and you spread that out, you extend that, the difference becomes much more glaring. And what I mean by that is if you got, let's say you have a, I don't know, like a 4-star blade at 550 now, and you want to do Realm of Legends, or you have, you know, a 5-star blade at rank 4, you're going to do Labyrinth of Legends, sometimes even like 5.2, 5.3, like there's really, really long fights in there. So if we're looking at that, does the difference between the 2 rotations, does it start to make a difference? And the answer in short terms is yes, it actually makes a significant difference. So this fight against Winter Soldier that you're seeing, the video on the left-hand side, that is me doing the S1 spam. Basically, after every 5-hit combo, I've got an S1 available. I do that until I have my free S2. I fire that off, and then I start the same rotation. On the right-hand side, it's just me simply holding my power until I get an S2, and then I fire off the S2 every single time I have it. Now, what happens is as this fight goes on, I'll let this kind of play. I'll jump ahead, but then let it play out. You'll notice that actually the S1 is going to finish significantly faster than the S2 spam. We're talking somewhere in the ballpark of like 30 seconds, which is fairly significant. That would become even further, I think, if this was a rank 4 5-star character as opposed to rank 3. But you finish much, much quicker, which means your damage output is significantly higher. But the other thing to keep in mind is these 2 fights are not equal. While I am not running any synergy teams, I'm running Blade all by himself, so that there's nothing that's you know, changing the crit rate or anything like that. This is just Blade on his base stats. You'll notice on the right-hand side, I took significantly more damage, which pushed me below 50% health, which triggered the Courage, which is an increase of 20% to my attack power. So even with the 20% increase to the attack power, I still finished by spamming the S1 way faster. If I left it this way just to show the glaring difference. If I would have not gone into courage range with the S2, the spread between the two fights would have probably been even an additional, maybe 10 plus more seconds on top of that. So if you, like I said, if you're looking to do Realm of Legends or Labyrinth of Legends, and you're practicing with your blade, I would seriously consider, practicing this S1 method, spamming the S1. The only thing you got to keep in mind is that this method is not going to work if your blade is unawakened and you're running the Suicide Masteries. By spamming the S1 after every single 5-hit combo, that recoil damage is going to kill you very, very quickly. So if your blade is unawakened, you have no way of regenning. If your blade's awakened, you simply can, dash back, hold down, get your regen back, and can continue the S1 spam. But anyway, it's just a quick video. I just wanted to show the difference. I've been talking about it for a while. Did quite a bit of testing. Really, all my testing, it just kept coming back with the same numbers. If I was a little bit disappointed at first when I saw the results from Labyrinth of Legends, that Red Hulk fight. But then I thought, well, what if I extend that out? What are we going to look like? And it was significant, so I thought it was enough to be able to kind of bring to you guys, to make you aware of it, so you can practice for yourself, see what you think. All right, if you have anything in addition to that you'd like to add, would love to hear it. Otherwise, comments can be left down below. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on my Discord. We can chat over there if you have any questions as well. All right, guys, until I see you all in the next one, have a great day.